Mr. Investor, welcome back to the channel. Baby, I had this open from earlier today, but oh my gosh, our beloved bingo stock went through a Mazzolini. We went all the way up, almost 22%. It was booming. At one point, we hit $8.82, and slowly and gradually, we've declined down to here, baby. Very, very juicy boost today. It was something like 23%. And for the people that held strong and also managed to average down on that dippity dip on Friday, woohoo! So as I said in previous videos, I was actually looking at a specific job that Bionano Genomics is hiring for, and some other places. I keep seeing it across the world in different places where people are looking at certain types of data. So today I wanted to talk to you about a job that's popping up everywhere, baby. There were some conversations I saw at the Festival of Genomics that made me very inquisitive. So this cowboy went galloping, I went running to see if I can find a genomic expert. And oh my god, did I find one. So we're also going to talk about our nano nozzle Bionite Joe Butler. And there's also some stuff that we should be working on with our Saphyr to make sure we're as effective as possible. So if you're new around here, welcome to the ranch, partner. My name is Miguel. We've been covering Bionano Genomics for a long time. Since $2 as a stock, we've seen it rise to the greatness. We've also seen it fall to the depths. But I'm going to be holding this stock long and strong for the next 5 years. Always remember, this is not financial advice. Today we're going to be breaking down some very interesting topics for you today. If you'd like to support my video, you can click join up here. It's only 99 cents. Helps me create great content like this. Also, join my Patreon community. We have 5 members now. Come on. But I'm going to be transitioning everyone over to the Discord. This weekend it's going to be ready. We're going to be talking about all the juicy stocks, everything I'm looking at, and you'll know about videos before I do them, baby. It will be a place where we can do due diligence together and we can deep dive into those stocks and make the most of it. Anybody that joins any tier here, I'm going to include you all in the Discord group. But if you're unable to join, just you hitting like and clicking subscribe is enough for me. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Let's get straight into it. Okay, baby. I'm always looking back to see what careers are going at Bionano Genomics. Are they going to hire a cowboy? I don't see any cowboy positions, but I do see they have bioinformatics support scientists. A few days earlier, almost a month earlier, there was a bioinformatics scientist. And all the way down here, we saw a bioinformatics support specialist. So first of all, what is bioinformatics? What do they do? What is it about? Bioinformatics, the science of collecting and analyzing complex biological data such as genetic codes. So as we can see here, bioinformatics is a field of study that develops methods and software tools for understanding biological data. And these data sets are massive. You can see here it says large and complex. So I spoke to a clinical researcher, somebody who is active in the genomics field. So it's a genomics scientist, baby. And they were telling me they had a conversation with Joe Butler. So the way that they explained it to me in terms of bioinformatics, they were saying whenever you have large data sets, you need a bioinformatician to write scripts that narrow down the results you want to look at. Otherwise, it will take a decade to go through one experiment. This goes back to the question I asked Joe Butler of what methods we currently have to make sense of data Saphyr provides. So then they linked me to a study and they said, take a look at this. These are the amount of tools other techniques are using. So we can see they sent me the link just up here and they said we can extract different types of information from a data set. If you take a look at figure 1A and 1B of this paper, publications, preprints, online repositories, and social media identified 354 long reads analysis tools. The majority of these tools are developed for nanopore read analysis, that's 262 of them, while there are 170 tools developed to analyze SMRT data. Then in figure B of the paper, it categories them per type of tool they are. There are a couple of algorithms that have been developed so far for analyzing Bionano, but as said by one of the scientists that spoke at the BNGO symposium, they said more computational tools are needed and this will likely be developed by various groups as they dissect their data sets. So just showing you the study here, you can see opportunities and challenges in long read sequencing. If we go to 1A, you'll see here, we'll talk about tools to analyze sequencing data provided by long read sequencing platforms. And 1B, you can see what they were saying was correct. The majority of tools developed for nanopore reads, 262 of them, while 170 tools are developed to analyze SMRT data. They then said to me, all this to say, it would make sense for Bionano to have a bioinformatician on board if they have software as a service model where they have to analyze the data on behalf of the client. So looking at these jobs, we can see one job just opened up 5 days ago in Europe. So we must be getting sales if they're deciding to hire because they want to keep up and they want to make sure that they're rolling out their software as a service and meeting all their clients' demands. The next one we can see here, bioinformatics scientist. This one was 29 days ago. That was in the USA, San Diego, California. And the bioinformatics support specialist was also in California, USA, San Diego, baby. We also have software quality engineers for bioinformatics too popping up. And we are also looking at hiring manufacturing engineers for our consumable consumable department. So if you did not have sales, why would you continue to hire all these people? We must be getting sales coming in or predicting a large amount of sales to come later on in the future. It looks like we're also rolling out lots of stuff for research and development. As you can see here, we've got a senior engineer for consumable development in San Diego. And now some of you may have seen this, but when I was at the Festival of Genomics, I actually watched a conversation between Joe Butler, and he was talking to a scientist from the University of Edinburgh. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, get in there, Joe. Get in there real deep, baby. Because Joe was in there like swimwear. And when we see this post here, I know this was a while back. The post was actually placed on the 18th of February, so it was about, a couple weeks ago. This was a full-time role, and just take a look at this. We are being used, and they need to develop an algorithm. So the bioinformatician develops algorithm to help sift through data, right? So check this out. We are being used to work on cattle graft genomes. How do I know? Alongside our collaborators in the UK and Africa, we have developed a unique collection of datasets across European and African cattle, which includes long reads hi-fi sequencing, Pack B, and optical mapping data. Who's that? I wonder. And this is optical mapping data of several key African breeds. They also have large short read population resequencing datasets and matching expression, chromatin, methylation collections across diverse breeds. So this postdoctoral researcher will use these datasets to develop highly annotated graft genomes and new approaches for working with them. So yep, just to confirm, when I spoke to the researcher I was speaking to, they said that the post of University of Edinburgh sounds like the postdoc could be developing an algorithm to look at the data and sift through it for hi-fi, optical mapping, and short read sequencing. And then they sent me a dataset. To give you an idea of how absolutely giant these datasets are, I've attached an Excel file from whole exome sequencing of one patient after our bioinformatician sifted through the data. And now I can't show you this because it's confidential and it's not been finished. It was preliminary, I think, the dataset, but this was somebody who's already sifted through it, a bioinformatician, and there are still this much amount of data. It was insane. So on each row, on each tab is a mutation. We're just walking, talking bags of mutation, apparently. And they originally had 70,622 sequence variants. If you saw the actual Excel sheet, it was just data after data. It wasn't as much as 70,000 because that was the original amount, but it still had thousands and thousands of entry points. So that being said, we are hiring so we can develop algorithms so we can efficiently dissect data sets. And what excites me as well is, who remembers when Eric was talking about agri-genomics? As we can see here, they're talking about European and African cattle. So we need to actually think about the broader picture. Everything that lives has a genome. And Fabian Flores said this, and so did MOM. Bingo. Viruses, bacteria, humans, plants, and animals, we all have genomes. The possibilities with Saphyr are endless. So also, in terms of making sense of data, it's called variants of unknown significance, is the data that we don't know much about. So with our beloved Saphyr machine, I'm just wondering, can we put all these computational tools in place so we don't get these huge amount of data sets, so we can filter through what we want to look at and all the useless ones that we don't need to look at. And what did Lineagen come out with? Let me show you that Twitter, baby. I mean Lineagen. So as we can see here, this was very interesting. Dr. Eric Homeland, CEO at Bionano, comments on the benefits of Neuroscore. So this was a proprietary scoring algorithm that may help identify novel genes for nervous system disorders developed by the team. So read this keywords here. Now, our Lineagen team can actually better interpret these variants of unknown significance using our proprietary Neuroscore algorithm to diagnose more patients and provide more conclusive answers to families of patients with neurodevelopmental disease. VUS, variants of unknown significance. The algorithm is helping filter out data that we don't need and actually collect data that we do need. That's my take on it anyway. If you're a scientist, tell me if I'm wrong, please. Just slap me some comments and I'll pin it to the top, baby. So if we continue to see these kinds of jobs and we continue to see like consumable development and manufacturing in certain parts of the world, especially if we see this kind of job in Europe too, I think it's suggesting that we're probably expecting a lot more sales in the pipeline, or we've already got some people who want software as a service. Or maybe we're just developing a better algorithm to help us sift through data and become optimized and become as fast as possible and make sure we execute on delivering as much data in a short amount of time. As we can see here, remember this key milestone that hit in December, 21st of December 2020, this was released. They're saying with the release this week of a software update for the Saphyr instrument, part of its system for optical genome mapping, the system is now capable of imaging up to 96 human genomes per week. We're getting faster and faster, baby, with a depth coverage of 100x or 4,992 samples per year. Can you see the money falling? Can you see the money? I told Neo, stay away from the blue pill, man. It's gonna make you harder. Baby, the thing is, in the stock market, people are running around like headless chickens at the moment. Some people on the red days, they choose not to average average down into stocks they believe in because they're quite fearful of the market. And now this is not financial advice, but can you imagine if you managed to pick this up, yeah? You built out your position, you picked this up at $5.60 and you got a 55% return. What? From the bottom? Can you imagine? Just over the weekend, schmackaroni. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I can't tell you anything. I'm a retail investor, baby. But all I can tell you is I'm going to continue to build out positions in BNGO. This is lower than my average. And as soon as I get cash money, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average down into this company because I believe in it long term. And baby, just take a look, man. Come on. Vanguard is just buying stock. And we're going to see over the next 45 days when these companies are forced to hand in their 13Fs and their NP forms. They're delaying all the buys and sells. They're not transparent like ARK. But when we see how much institutions actually bought in this dip in 45 days time, I think it will give more people conviction to see where the smart money is going to go. And we're just going to see how Bionano Genomics develops as a business. There's so much going on in the world of genomics and we may see these institutional share ownership go up a lot. But even if the institutions don't jump in and load the boat, if we're making money, I'm happy, baby. So before I go, I want to leave you with this. This is Fragile X syndrome, FXS, and it's the most common cause of inherited intellectual disability and autism spectrum disorder in males. So check this out. Let's see how common this actually is. So this is how common it is here. You can see Fragile X affects 1 in 4,000 males and 1 in 6,000 females of all races and ethnic groups across the world. About 1 in 259 women carry Fragile X and can pass it on to their kids, and 1 in 800 men carry Fragile X. Their daughters will also be carriers. Senior bioinformatician, as we can see here. I want to show you all these jobs popping up. We can see here for Genapsis. They're popping up all over the place. There's one here, research assistant in October 2020. This one was for UCL, University College of London. Popping up all across the states here. This one expires March 28th. This one is in Texas, Houston, United States. Popping up across England with the NHS too. So this one was actually put up over a year ago at Wageningen University. And this goes to show that we are being used alongside PacBio and many other companies. Also, this lovely team from the Wellcome Sanger Institute, they are also using optical mapping, as we can see here. And these guys are a research institute based in England, in Hinxton. I've never been to Hinxton, so let's take a looky. Zoom out of that bad boy. Where are we, baby? Where is Hinxton? I see where you've been hiding. So it's just north of London. It's within Cambridge there. I just wanted to show you what they use. They use Pacific Biosciences, Oxford Nanopore, Bionano Genomics, and 10x Genomics. So you can see here, we are used alongside all of these different machines and techniques. Okay guys, I hope you found this super valuable and entertaining. I'm going to cut the video there. I've got so much more to talk about and I'm structuring videos day by day. I literally have so much to say and my thoughts are just looking at the bigger picture and the genomic scope. But thank you very much for watching. I love and appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next time, cowboys and cowgirls. Bingo for life. Mr. Investor Lot, over and out, baby.